Aloha, my friends, and welcome to Fixing American Politics. I'm your host, Mark J. Lindquist. This is America 2.0. What is America 2.0, you say? It's an online movement of thought, because if you are anything like me, and you look at the state of American politics and the federal government and Republicans versus Democrats and right versus left, red versus blue, liberal versus conservative, if you look at that today and you say to yourself, oh my gosh, we have to do something about this. We have to fix it. We have to get rid of these idiots in Washington because they are corrupt. They're all about enriching themselves. They are all about money and politics. They're gerrymandering their way to a next term. They're lying, they're cheating, they're stealing. Even if they are good people, like Adam Kinzinger gets into office, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I text with Adam Kinzinger every once in a while these last couple of years, and I believe in the guy. Anyway, good people like that, they get in and they say, no, I'm out of here. I got to get out of this thing because it's just such a mess. So even if they're good people, I believe that they have subscribed to an inferior system. And we, the people, out here in society, out on the town halls of the world, I can't even speak today. Out in the town halls of the world. Come on, Mark, get your act together. We need to assemble out here, and we need to provide some structure, some framework, some option for the American people. And I'm not really talking about a third party. When we talk about what America 2.0 looks like, which I think that's what my generation and younger will build in America, is something in American politics that makes sense, that is an update to our system, that is an update to our thinking, an update to our language that we speak in American politics, because the language that we use thus far is me versus you, right? When you talk in politics, about politics in America, it's us versus them. Republicans believe that Democrats are the source of their problems, and Democrats believe that Republicans are the source of their problems, and we go round and round. And nobody is fixing it. Nobody is bringing something new to the table. Nobody is bringing a new option. And I'm not talking about a third party. Do I believe that Andrew Yang should be successful and the Forward Party should be the third option? Absolutely. I really hope that works. I'm not starting a party. I'm starting a conversation about America 2.0 and what do we the people want it to look like. I don't see anybody in American society doing enough about it. Maybe there are people doing something about it, but there's not enough people doing enough about it, because the conversation in American politics today is still mired in hyper-partisanship, me versus you. These days, if you have a Trump sign in your yard, there's people in your town who want you to move away. There are people in your town who will stay away from your house and tell their children to stay away from that house. They will speak badly about you behind your back, and they think you're the enemy. And if you have a Biden sign in front of your house, or whoever the Democratic nominee is in 2028, the people who are Trump voters will think that you're the enemy. What are we doing? That is not the United States of America. I believe we can do better than Republican and Democrat. I believe that it is time for my generation and younger to say that the era of Democratic and Republican Party rule is over. That we will now work to bring a framework of thought that will be adopted by the country as the new normal, as the new expectation of what we need in American politics today, that we need to graduate beyond hyper-partisanship. We need to graduate to a system that keeps up with technologies, keeps up with regulation, and plays a role in the world that it needs to in an ever dangerous planet that we live on, with good guys and bad guys. And right now, what I see America doing while we are fighting against each other is we are abdicating our responsibility as leader of the free world. I sit here in Ukraine right now. This is where my chair is in Ukraine. I've been volunteering over here for the cause of freedom for 3.5 years. I have now started this online movement of thought because I do believe that the best way to preserve freedom on earth for the 1.2 billion of us who consider ourselves a part of the free world, the best way for me to do that is to fix American politics. Because if America becomes what we should be, lives up to our potential, becomes that shining city on a hill, a beacon of freedom and light for the world, a reliable ally to the free world, then I do believe that places like Ukraine will be able to sleep soundly, because America will do what is necessary to preserve freedom for those who wish for it on earth. That we will maintain the size of and the borders of the free world and say, hey, dictators, authoritarian regimes, the Putins of the world, the Xi Jinpings of the world, the Kim Jong-uns of the world, you don't get to reign in a place that wants freedom and wants to live like Europe and the United States and Australia and South Korea and Japan and Taiwan to a degree. And I won't go into geopolitics around the world and list them all, but the free world, only 20% of us live in it. And America, the United States of America, is not doing what is necessary to be an ally to that other 16%. Because remember, America is like only 4% of the world, the population. And I think it's because our politics is broken, that we can't make a decision. There's nothing that gets done in Washington that is coherent, that inspires people, that makes any friggin' sense at all. And I believe that my generation has to fix it. Now, what am I doing to try to fix it? Well, I believe that a thought can travel around the world on the internet overnight. I believe that it is possible to build YouTube accounts and Instagram accounts and TikTok accounts with 8-10 million followers. Just today, I was looking at Mark Rober's YouTube channel. I think he has 70 million followers. Now, Mark Rober, I think he's a brilliant guy. I don't know. It says he's a NASA scientist or something. That's wonderful. He is an American citizen. I believe that if one human being can do a thing, then you can too. Now, do I believe that this YouTube channel will go to 70 million followers? Well, I mean, I don't know, but I think it's possible. I think that it is important enough for this generation, my generation and younger, to fix American politics and the system of governance and the system of self-governance and the frameworks of thought that we bring to that exercise and experiment. I believe that it is important enough that we use the tools available to us in an intelligent way. And one of those ways to be intelligent about it would be to gather like-minded people on places like this YouTube channel, on places like America 2.0, in America 2.0 HQ, I think is what it is on Instagram. And search for America 2.0 and search for Mark J. Lindquist. That's my name. And I'm not a candidate. I'm not running for anything. I can't be president. I wasn't born in the country. I'm a veteran. I love America. I want to see us do better. I don't see us doing very well right now. And so this is my idea. What we do here is we gather like-minded people, because if you think about what the internet is, it is a tool to sort and attract like-minded people. The people that want political reform, the people that want to get rid of Republicans and Democrats and not be so hyper-partisan and not hate their neighbor because of politics, they would follow this channel and they would share these videos. And what is it? It's a TED Talk. It's something you can listen to on your commute to work. Am I going to say completely brilliant things every single day? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't have time to edit these things. I believe that YouTube is, I'm getting all riled up here. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all riled up. I believe that YouTube is in a position now where It's the number one platform in the world, that everybody is watching it. I believe that there are channels out there that are hyper-focused on certain niche topics. And this is political reform. This is the United States government. This is politics. This is conversations about how we can do better. This is nonpartisan, non-ideological. And I believe that these types of channels, non-edited, non-jump cut, non-TikTok, I don't have any attention span, I think that these channels can take off. What I need to do for the next year is I need to feed the algorithm as much data as possible about what I talk about. And I will do that here daily, a few times a day. I'm a motivational speaker. It's how I've made my living for the last 11 years. I've been semi-retired for the past 11 years. And I get the chance to sit here in front of a camera twice a day and give you a little TED Talk about my thoughts on American politics. This conversation is to point out to you that there is something going on, that you could tell your friends about. That if we're going to get to 70 million followers, hell, if we're going to get to 100,000 followers, if we're going to get to 1 million followers, well, then what does it take? It takes you saying to your friend, hey, have you heard about this Mark J. Lindquist guy? Have you heard about the guy who sings the national anthem for the NFL for Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football? And guess what? 100 million people in America, maybe 50 million. I don't know how many people watch the games religiously, but the NFL is the biggest sport in America. That even if you're not a hardcore NFL fan, you might have seen my picture, my image on your TV screen, because I sing the national anthem for Monday and Thursday Night Football and been singing for the NFL for the last 10 years. And so wouldn't it be cool if you would be able to tell your friends, hey, the NFL national anthem singer, the Asian Sinatra, veteran, kid from Ortonville, Minnesota, adoptee, ran for Congress. He's got an inside track on what kind of garbage these parties are and what they're a bunch of crooks. He could tell you about it. He goes and briefs members of Congress about Ukraine. He gets invited to talk to U.S. senators and U.S. congressmen because he's, on the inside of something that's very important in the world today, which is the fight for freedom on the edge of the free world here in Ukraine. I get interviewed by the Washington Post. The New York Times interviews me. They didn't put my story in the Times, but the Boston Globe printed my interview, and Voice of America and CBS Saturday Morning. I'm a credible guy. If you walk down the street in Ortonville, Minnesota, or Fargo, North Dakota, and ask everybody who Mark J. Lindquist is, I think 98% of the people will tell you, yeah, I mean, they might not agree with everything that I do or everything that I say, but they would tell you that, yeah, I mean, he's as good as they come. That's who you can tell your friends about that has started this thing called America 2.0. Because we have to start thinking differently than hyper-partisan, right versus left, me versus you, conservative, red versus blue, conservative versus liberal, red versus blue. Because I keep saying this, Republicans and Democrats are not inevitable in the experiment of self-governance. Let me say that again. Republicans and Democrats are not inevitable in the experiment of self-governance. Did you ever think about that? The fact that these two powerful parties have taken hold in our country and had a stranglehold and a monopoly on power in the United States for the past, 125 years. Google it. Ask your AI. I have no idea how many years, but my whole lifetime, it's been Republicans and Democrats. And I think since maybe the mid 1800s, you go look it up. But they've had a stranglehold on political power in America. And thus, those are the two most powerful parties in the world because America has been the leader of the free world for the past 80 plus years. Oh, I'm getting fired up. We need to move beyond Republican and Democratic rule. It's not impossible. You can't tell me that it's impossible. That we couldn't get 5 million, 10 million, 15, 20 million people. And I think it's only going to take 7 to 10 million, honestly. Because I think the studies say that in order for it to completely change society, we need about 7 to 10 million, which would be about 3 to 4% of America for it to catch fire. So it's not like we got to get all 260 million. We just got to get to 1 million. And then by 1 million, we got to double it. And then, double that again, and then double that again, and get to 7 to 10 million people. get the word out that there is an unstoppable framework of thought that is spreading throughout the internet, that is freely available, that can't be shut down because it is being implanted all over the internet with hashtag America 2.0. Well, actually, that's not going to work because there's a period. Dang it, there's a period in America 2.0. Well, maybe we just, A 2.0 when we write out 2.0. Or maybe we just hashtag, pick a hashtag we like. I don't care if it's Reform America, or if it's Fix Politics, or if it's Mark J. Lindquist, or if it's Screw This System. I don't care what it is. Somehow we got to organize. And we got to let people know that this generation, my generation and younger, we're not going to stand for Republican and Democrat. We're not going to stand for this old, broken down, busted system that's full of corruption. We got to fix all kinds of stuff. We got to fix gerrymandering. We got to fix the way we appoint people to the Supreme Court. We got to fix the money in politics, Citizens United. We got to repeal. We got to start giving people rights because, as far as I read the Constitution, that the blessings of liberty are supposed to be reserved and protected for ourselves and our posterity. And the 14th Amendment grants liberty to all. And there's these idiots out there that are trying to take liberties away from people. I'm not here to take policy positions now. Right now, we just have to get enough people to realize that we can do this and that there's something credible out there that is moving, in the undercurrent of the internet. But eventually, we will have to stake a claim to policy positions, maybe come up with a platform, and maybe it'll be in 2028 by the time we get rolling and have enough momentum where we could then field candidates. I'm not going to be a candidate. I've done that already. The last time I did that, I landed in the Fargo VA mental health ward. This is not for me. But what I can do is I can sit here and talk about politics in the way that we probably should be thinking to fix it. America 2.0. We need to rid ourselves of the conditioning of thought that has led us to believe that Republicans and Democrats are the only options. Did you know that there's, on any given midterm election, there's 50 to 70 million people? No, there's 120 million people. 100 to 120 million people every midterm election who don't vote, and that outnumbers the largest political party's votes by 50 to 70 million. Let me say that again. It got a little confusing. Every midterm election, like we're going to have in 2026, there's 100 million to 120 million people who do not participate in the system for who knows whatever reason. Maybe they can't vote. Maybe they don't want to vote. Maybe they don't even pay attention. I don't know what it is. My friend Artie posed a great question. I want to know why they don't vote. But the biggest political parties in America, Republicans and Democrats, they get 50 to 60 million votes. That means that 50 to 70 million people outnumber the best option. I mean, there's enough people out there, I think, that are so frustrated with the system they don't even show up. I didn't vote this last year. I couldn't bring myself to vote for these idiots. So there's enough people out there that would say, if there was a better option that made any sense, I would show up and I would use my vote to change this into something better. And I don't have all the answers about how to do it, but I've dipped my toe into the world of trying to see if there's people out there who are interested in it. And I know that there are. I've got a big enough sample size on Facebook. It's an 8,000 person Facebook account that I've assembled over the years, my closest friends and people that know me. And there are people who want this. And then there are people who are absolutely so closed-minded and so suckered into believing that Republicans and Democrats are the answer that we're never going to get them. But let me tell you, we don't need all of them. If we got 120 million people that don't believe in the system and don't vote, well, that if half of us showed up, we could sweep the election. We could replace 87% of these idiots in 2026, right? Did you ever think about that? We can replace the American people could every 2 years replace 87% of the people that they chose to do the job 2 years ago. Why? Do the math. 435 representatives are up for re-election. There's nothing in law that says we have to re-elect those people. We could kick all of them out, and we could nominate smart, good, ethical, reasonable, honorable people with integrity, with good ethics, with a good problem-solving head on their shoulder, that don't take campaign donations, that don't succumb to the pressures of raising money to get into office. That's such garbage. The country's got 260 million adults, for crying out loud. We could find 538 of them and said, yeah, I will take a sabbatical from my job and I will get this ship on the right course. And then I'll go back to work and then, change out another every, imagine how much people would pay attention if every 2 years we actually changed them out. That Sam Altman, Mark Cuban, I don't care who, maybe you like Elon Musk or not, or maybe you like Mark Zuckerberg or not, or maybe you like, I don't know, somebody like John McCain, who would have been middle of the road. I don't know who you like out there in society, but what if you could get Theo Epstein, who fixed the Boston Red Sox? What if you could get him to run for office? Obviously, that guy knows how to solve problems. And I'm not kidding you. We need people who know how to solve problems out in society to have them lend their time to the biggest problems in the world, which is how to fix American government and politics. All right, 21 minutes. This has gotten long enough, but this is my new strategy that every once in a while I'm going to show up on this platform twice a day, I think it'll be. And if I got something to rant about, I'll do it 3 or 4 times a day. I don't know what it is, but I don't think YouTube is going to penalize me for uploading a 20-minute video a couple times a day. And I will be here to have a conversation, and I'll organize my thoughts better next time. And I'll create an outline and I'll get visual aids. But this is just the beginning. I have decided that this is something that I need to do. I don't think that I am well versed enough in the short form social media, Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. I'm going to eventually need to hire an editor to cut up some of the thoughts that I have here, if they're any good at all, into 30 and 45-second shorts. That's a waste of my time. My time, I believe, is best used trying to come up with ways to persuade people that it's possible to change politics in America, that we must change politics in America, and that this is something that is going to change politics in America. All right, I'm going to sign off here. Mark J. Lindquist here. Follow America 2.0. We're just getting started. It's something that I've been cooking up for 4 years since I quit the race for Congress to come out here to Ukraine to help people and volunteer unpaid full-time. And now I'm back on this horse and determined that we will get some traction doing this. And I can't wait to see where it goes. So Mark J. Lindquist here, signing off. Go Vikings. Hey, Adam Thielen, so glad you're back with the Minnesota Vikings. All right, friends, see you next time. America 2.0. Got to come up with the tagline. America 2.0. Republicans and Democrats suck. America 2.0. Updating America's operating system. America 2.0. A government for the future. Something. We need to work on that. We'll work on it together. Signing off. Click. Come on.